A full frontal assault on the First Amendment. House lawmakers today battling it out over the so-called Twitter files. So what's at stake here? Well, nothing less than our First Amendment rights, free speech, namely. It all unfolded at a hearing for the House Judiciary Subcommittee on weaponization of the federal government. Republicans trying to find out if big tech is in fact censoring conservative voices, specifically when it comes to things like Hunter Biden's laptop, that story, the COVID lab leak theory, and vaccines. The committee heard from two reporters who broke the bombshell Twitter files story, and what we heard should chill you to your core. Watch.
The First Amendment and an American population accustomed to the right to speak is the best defense left against the censorship industrial complex. If there's anything the Twitter files show, it's that we're in danger of losing this most precious right, without which all democratic rights are impossible.
Today, American taxpayers are unwittingly financing the growth and power of a censorship industrial complex run by America's scientific and technological elite, which endangers our liberties and democracy.
But Democrats still trying to paint this as just a big conspiracy theory. Watch this.
It may be possible that if we can take off the tinfoil hat, that there's not a vast conspiracy, but that ordinary folks and national security agencies responsible for our security are trying their best to find a way to make sure that our online discourse doesn't get people hurt or see our democracy undermined.
But it's weird because that form of cronyism actually undermines our democracy. Gets even sleazier. Democrats also tried to claim the independent journalists who broke the story were just Elon Musk's stooges.
The Republicans have brought in two of Elon Musk's public scribes to release cherry-picked, out-of-context emails and screenshots designed to promote his chosen narrative. This isn't just a matter of what data was given to these so-called journalists.
Elon Musk spoon-fed you his cherry-picked information, which you must have suspected promotes a slanted viewpoint, or at the very least generates another right-wing conspiracy theory.
Ladies in your propaganda, getting your talking points in order. How boring. Republicans say this is no joke. They say something very nefarious has been going on.
There's communication between Twitter and the FBI. It was constant. It was pervasive. Twitter was basically an FBI subsidiary before Elon Musk took it over. The Twitter files revealed that by 2020, Twitter was engaged in open information sharing with the intelligence community.
That's just Twitter. That's just what we know about. Well, I personally will take the side of free speech every damn day and twice on Sunday. You know who else will? My next guest, Kentucky Republican congressman and member of the House Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. He was there. He knows it. Thomas Massey is back. Welcome back, sir.
Good evening, Kennedy.
So what struck you about this meeting? Why are Democrats not concerned about what big companies and big government can do together to erode our rights?
They're not just not concerned, they hate the First Amendment. And the funny thing about their attack on these witnesses is, number one, the Democrats refuse to bring their own witness. So the other interesting thing is we actually called two witnesses who aren't Republicans. They're either Democrat or independent. Neither of them voted for Trump, but I don't think they're going to be voting for Democrats again the way they were treated today. I mean, Matt Taibbi has written 10 books. 4 of them made the New York Times bestseller list. He was a journalist for Rolling Stone, and they tried to make him out to be some right-wing conspiracy hack. So, you know, and then also I think you heard this in the beginning tapes there that you played. I learned this today. There's a censorship industrial complex. There's a lot of money involved here. NGOs, 501c3s, academic organizations who are working on the algorithms and the paradigms for censoring not just misinformation, but they call it malinformation, things that are true. They suggest that you should censor them even if they're true because they send the wrong message to people who aren't prepared for the truth.
Yes, people need to be protected from pointy ideas. That is incredibly dangerous, and that is the opposite for which the Bill of Rights was intended, particularly the First Amendment. It is supposed to protect us from the forces of government who want to control what we ingest, what we read, what we talk about. But it's scary. I mean, that would be like every newspaper long before social media or technology or the digital age colluding with the federal government, only giving us certain headlines that they felt were safe for consumption. You know, the authors of our founding documents knew that. They could see that. They saw authoritarianism take purchase where they were from, and they wanted to make sure that if this were in fact a free republic, we had to have built-in prioritized safeguards.
Both of these journalists, by the way, worked in foreign countries that were authoritarian governments. And they said that America is what they're seeing in America is chilling because it looks like what went on in those other countries, including Russia. One of them was there when Putin was elected and watched journalists be killed. They said this is the precursor to things that are worse. And also, let's talk about that collusion. The FBI was paying money to Twitter, but also I revealed the fact that $1 billion has gone to promote vaccines. A lot of that filtered into the social media companies. And one of the top lobbyists at Twitter, I had a copy of an email where he signed up the CDC to be in their partner support portal. Well, if the CDC is a partner with Twitter and then they suggest, and they're paying them money to advertise vaccines, and they suggest to them that they censor somebody, of course they're going to censor them. I don't blame Twitter. Twitter has that private right to shut down speech, but when the government is urging them to do that, and when they're in a partnership with them, they have violated the First Amendment, the government has.
What was most chilling for me, the number of high-ranking FBI officials who were embedded at Twitter and still had active relationships with people in the FBI. But you also had DHS, the CIA, the Director of National Intelligence had tentacles there. But my worry is this really is only the tip of the iceberg. There are other social media companies. There is other information that is being controlled and relationships we are not privy to. So will we ever see the same kind of daylight at places like Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok?
Well, unless Elon Musk or some other billionaire buys those companies and does, you know, the public service that Elon has done, which is to reveal all the internal, you know, machinations there, I don't think we'll get it. But we're going to try to get it with our weaponization committee, because I suspect what's happened at Facebook is far worse.
Yes.
Also, the intel, most of what you've seen is FBI stuff, because FBI is, you know, they basically have a civilian mission. But you haven't seen what the CIA or the NSA is doing in the name of national security or election integrity. They are branches of the military, yet they have been inwardly faced using the excuse of foreign nexus. And I think that's what we need to get to the bottom of, and that's what's not even in the Twitter files.
Nope, but it is certainly out there, and if Democrats are carrying water for government organizations who are spying on us, well, shame on them and damn them all to hell. Congressman Massey, great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks for being so pleasant, Kennedy.
Amen.